Hey guys, Alejandro here from Evolve Attraction. So lately I've been getting questions from guys of how do I deal with fear and what are my thoughts about it. So the way how I see it is this: you need to live in your own true reality and not live in your own mind. You see, part of your mind is an imagination. An imagination can be good if it involves with ideas of challenging yourself. Then you have to take action. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in your own imagination that will easily create fear. Now, I really do believe we all grew up with aspiring imagination since we were kids. We all believed in ourselves at one point in our lives before fear got in the way. People will first create fears of their own by comparing themselves with others or thinking what could happen next if they fail. Then here comes the big one, society. Society can really fuck you up bad. This is why I rarely watch the news. I hardly watch TV. Unfortunately, these days I only come across the news on social media, and people will just spread fear. When I share my life stories and ideas to some people, they would ask me, what if something bad happens? Or, what if you come across bad people? Now, this is what I call language patterns of fear. Then there are other people who would respond differently and say, that's badass, or that's got to be so much fun. I would do the same. I remember last year I booked a flight to Italy and Spain to do some of my work and just have fun. At the time of the world events that were going on last fall, while major airports were targeted and monitored for dangerous concerns, I had some people asking me if I knew what was going on, and even asked me if I should reschedule my flights. Since I've been traveling alone for numerous amount of years and having new experiences, I'm used to facing my fears and moving forward. I've been in city areas and situations that something bad could have happened, but I wouldn't really know until I would hear other people's opinions. However, I learned that these people never experience these situations and try their best to avoid them. So I didn't care what other people were saying and continued my trip and met some amazing people and just had a blast. Hell, I was in Madrid partying up while I was getting messages if I was okay because of the fear people were spreading during that time of events. If I wasn't aligned to reality, my reality, then I would live in my own mind of wonder. So I'm rooted to reality by having life experiences, then living in my mind of wonder or imagination. Now, ironically, at times I would want to have some fear. That's crazy, huh? Every once in a while, I hope I get fear when it comes to approaching women. Now, don't get me wrong, I love feeling relaxed and approaching women. However, sometimes I want to relive those crazy, fearful experiences I used to have when I first started my journey a long time ago. And plus, I like to challenge myself. And I admit, from time to time, I would experience fear again. Usually if I see a beautiful woman sitting when there's a bunch of people around her, or if she's with her parents. Now, how I manage this is by embracing the feeling. I'm learning how my body is responding during this moment. My body is telling me I need to do this. Then I approach the woman. Regardless of the outcome, I would feel good by approaching her, especially if I'm being direct with her. Now, the way how I see fear is that it needs to be there right before you do anything new, especially if it's something you need to do for yourself. It will impact your life and you will always remember it. Not only does this apply to approaching women, but all areas in life. An example of a moment that impacted my life was during the early stage of my journey. I used to live in a small town and flew all the way across the country and just started to hit the clubs and lounges. One of the guys I met told me to approach a couple that was behind me, and I never approached any groups that had at least a guy in it at the time, because I would approach groups with women only. So I agreed to approach this couple and turn around. It was a gorgeous blonde woman with just a sexy outfit, and she was with this tall 6'8" buff black guy. I mean, he was totally ripped. I mean, he just looked like a pro wrestler or in combat sports. And I remember I walked a couple steps toward the couple, but I walked back to my buddy because I started to have some fear inside me. He reminded me that I told him that I wanted to push myself really hard at any cost, and no matter what happens, he'll have my back if I took action. So I walked back towards the couple, and I started to have negative thoughts. I was thinking, like, man, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I can't believe I flew all the way here and just to get my ass kicked. And I didn't even warm up before that moment. This was my first approach for the night. So I approached him, and I would say like about 10 seconds. The first 10 seconds was a little awkward, but moments later, the woman gave me this smile as if to say, you got balls to do this. And it comes to find out that they were just friends. Even though I had a feeling that the guy wanted to be more than that between them, still I just found out. So about 15 minutes later, I got her number in front of him, and at the moment, I needed to use the bathroom. And as I was walking away, she pulled my arm and told me, don't forget about us. Now, I will always remember that moment forever. It wasn't all about the number she gave me and showed me interest. It was all about the situation, because I never had that situation before. I was feeling fear to the point I was so nervous and having negative thoughts. But I took action. Then when she was interested in me, it opened my mind a lot more and helped build my own reality. So remember, to build and live in your own reality, you must face your fears and take action. People would like to do baby steps, which is fine, or you could be like me and push yourself really hard and condition your mind to embrace the fear and take action. Okay, until next time, see you guys soon.